We'll lower this. Awesome. We'll get this down here, okay? And we'll go here. Let's open up a new one of these bad boys. Cool. You know what I've never done before, what I would like to do? I just found out this freaking TV could do that the other day. Is, bam, we'll mark that as yellow. Cool. We'll get this as yellow too. Awesome. Hey, check this out. Look at this. Oh my God, there's a way we can do it. All right, cool. I love it. All right, beautiful. 5 in the chat. 5 in the chat. All right, so the first thing that we spoke about, what was the first thing that needs to be done? First thing that needs to be done, drop it in the chat, drop it in the chat, drop it in the chat, yes. Everybody's favorite. You know what's crazy? I think the #1 thing that agency owners love to do, the thing that gets them excited, the thing that makes them, the things that make them want to wake up in the morning, is lead generation. Hello? Is it leads you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes. Side camera, I see you. Stop messing with me, I see you over there. Tricky little side camera. You tricky little side camera. All right, lead generation. Lead generation. Cool. Lead generation. Oh, don't do that to me, board. Bam. Lead generation. Let's talk about some lead gen. Who wants to know some lead gen stuff? How do I generate leads? How do I generate leads? Leads. 79 in the chat. 79 in the chat. 79 in the chat, and I'll show you how to generate leads. Like, this is the way I do it. I'm just going to show you, okay? First thing, the one that everybody loves, cold calls. Cold calls. You've seen me do it. You've seen me preach it. You've seen me teach it. You see me love it. You see me mess up on it. You see me succeed at it. It's the one thing that people love to do. It's the one thing that people hate to do, okay? Cold calling is not for everybody. Cold calling is only for people who want to make money. I will repeat that. Cold calling is only for people who want to make money. How do you say that in Spanish? Para la gente que quiere hacer dinero. You heard it from me and Beatrice. Okay? I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. Cold calling is only for people that want to make money, okay? Now, when I started my agency, the first thing that I would do is pick up the phone and dial. It's not rocket scientist, okay? So the way that cold calling works is cold calling, it's just all a numbers game, okay? It's a numbers game. Do that, and then maybe we can drop like a little S. It's a numbers game, okay? There's nothing fancy, there's nothing crazy about it. Everybody's got their own techniques. Everybody's got their cold calling scripts and their fronting scripts, right? Everybody's got all that. That's cool, okay? But what nobody is doing for some reason is freaking cold calling. Nobody is sitting there and saying, you know what, tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up at 9 a.m. and my goal is to make 200 phone calls tomorrow. I want to dial 200 numbers, okay? Now the secret to cold calling, in case you don't know, once again, is numbers. It's a numbers game. It's not rocket scientist, okay? The formula to cold calling is to have a pretty decent script, okay? And then just call as much as you can. Decent script, call as much as you can, okay? Now, there's tons of things that can speed that up, okay? Like getting systems in place and softwares, which it's in actually have a whole lesson on that in the Dash Accelerator, okay? Is getting a system in place to speed that up. Instead of making 200 calls a day, what if you can make like 1,000 calls a day or some crazy shit like that, right? And you just 10x everything that you do, right? But cold calls, guys, it's all about the number of phone calls that you make, okay? Now, guys, on this lesson, I know there's a lot of startup agencies. There are a lot of people that are literally, they just started their agency or they're in their first year of their agency. I don't want to make this lesson, this entire agency masterclass, I really don't want to make it confusing, okay? I want to make it as least technical as possible so you don't get scared, okay? Because I want you guys to go out and actually do this. So cold calling It's just a numbers game. You go out, pick up the phone, call as many people as you can, pick a freaking niche, okay? Go call as many plumbers as you can. As many plumbers as you can, okay? These are the by the way, these are the types of things that you can do. We're gonna talk about strategy in a second, okay? Hold on to your underwears, okay? Next thing that we can do. Walk-ins. This is the second thing that we can do. Walk-ins. Has anybody ever walked into a business and asked for their business? Drop a 7 in the chat. 7 in the chat. Has anybody ever walked into a business to ask for their business? Yeah. Good. A lot of you guys have. Cool. So the second thing that allowed me to accelerate my agency is walk-ins. Guess what, guys? What do you think the secret to walk-ins is? Can anybody guess? Can anybody guess? Drop it in the chat. What's the secret to walk-ins? Thank you, David. It's the same freaking thing. It's a numbers game. Okay? It's a numbers game. Some people are like, yeah, I do walk-ins. I walked into a place yesterday. They told me they weren't interested, so I went home. Like, really? Really? Dude, when I was doing walk-ins, okay, I used to park. And somebody just said it there. Jill Butler said it. Yeah, you've been on a couple. Yeah, you've been on a couple. Jill Butler, Angel, yeah. So when I remember back in the day, I hired a guy. He would literally be on a Vespa with his helmet and his Hawaiian shirt, okay? And he used to ride around to plazas. And he would work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., okay, with an hour lunch break, or half-hour lunch break, whatever it was in the middle, okay? And he would literally walk into a plaza, park his Vespa, and go from business to business to business to business, and walk the entire plaza, okay? It's a numbers game, guys. He used to do the same thing in office buildings. He used to go to a big-ass office building with like 100 offices, park his freaking Vespa, walk into the office, and go to suite 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, hit 100 freaking walk-in places in one shot, okay? Walk-ins. It's the same thing as cold calls. It's just you're doing it in person. Think about it. When somebody picks up the phone, you're like, hey, my name is Chad. You know, I own a local marketing company down the street. I want to see if you can, you know, you need any marketing services, whatever. Okay, let's just say that was a script. When you walk into a place, you do the same thing. You're just live in person. You say, hey, it's Chad. You know, I own a local marketing company down the street. I want to see if you needed any services. It's the same thing. However, with walk-ins, you actually have a higher closing percentage, okay? And the reason why is you're in person, okay? A lot of the times when you're calling somebody on the phone, hey, Bobby, can I sell you something? Philip just said it. Walk-ins, you're face-to-face. They are less likely to tell you to fuck off. And they're more likely to listen to you. And what happens there is you actually have a higher percentage rate. Because I can tell you one thing, at least about me. If I got 10 people, and I called 10 people, and I walked into 10 people to their businesses, I close a higher percentage when I walk in because I'm a likable person, my energy's way up, they can see me, I'm super good looking, right? It's like a perfect match for everything, okay? And then I come in there and I'm like, you need some marketing. And I'm gonna tell you why you need some marketing, and this is why. And then I drop the hammer, right? Whereas a phone call, person doesn't see me. My tonality when I'm on the phone with somebody is different, okay? Because when I'm speaking to somebody, you can see, I like to speak with my hands and the movements. I get you all excited, right? I do bam, chicka, bam, bam, right? All that, right? All that. It's harder for people to say no in person. Thank you, Philip. That's actually a great point, okay? So we got cold calls and we got walk-ins, and they're both, guess what? Numbers game. Okay, another cool thing that I do, and I did this shit the other week, and you guys saw me do it, is Instagram automation. Automation, whatever. Automate. Who saw the video from last week? How fire was that shit? Can I get a 9 in the chat if you liked it and it's helping you? 9 in the chat if you've used it and it is actually helping you. 9 in the chat. Good. A couple of you have. Amazing. What do you think is the determining factor on how many leads you're going to get from using the Instagram automation? What is it, guys? It's a numbers game. Okay, you guys seeing a trend here? Are you guys seeing a trend here? Numbers, okay? So we got cold calls, walk-in, Instagram automation. I'm not gonna talk too much about Instagram automation. Instagram automation, we did a whole webinar last week on that using Instanoble and my strategy to just go out and generate a shit ton of leads. It's actually in the Marketer's Mindset Facebook group. So if you're not in the Facebook group, I definitely recommend you open up a new tab, hit Marketer's Mindset by DashClicks in the search bar in Facebook, and you'll see my sexy face doing like something like this. And then that's the group. You just join the group and we'll let you in probably later today. Awesome. So that's Instagram automation. Okay, I'm not going to go through that because we went through that last week. That's a whole thing on its own. Awesome. Next one, and I'm going to draw two squares here. Referrals. Okay? Now, obviously, if you don't have any clients, there's nobody to refer. I'll repeat that. If you don't have any clients, there's nobody to refer. Okay, people who use you usually refer you to other people. Therefore, you should not be focusing on referrals if you don't have any freaking clients. Okay, what you should be focusing on is getting your ass on the phone and doing cold calls, or getting your ass outside of your house and jumping into your car on a Vespa, or walking into a plaza or a building and trying to get business through walk-ins, or setting up some Instagram growth automations to generate incoming leads. 79 in the chat if you guys agree with me that these are things that definitely work. 79 in the chat. 79 in the chat. Good. And then obviously, there's a shit ton of other stuff, okay? A shit ton of other stuff that you can do, okay? In fact, in the Dash Accelerator program, if you guys have not taken it, we go over tons of different shit that you can do. So if you guys like the Instagram automation one, you need to get in the Dash Accelerator, okay? So that's the first thing, lead generation. So what this does, this is all a numbers game, okay? So for those of you guys that are using it and you're like, oh, tried everything for like 2 hours and nothing worked, Chad. Like those are the freaking tickets that I get. I tried to call 4 people and nobody answered, so I just stopped. And now like I'm here and I don't have any leads. I can't generate any business. Grow up. This is a numbers game, people. Business is a numbers game. The more you do, the more proactive you are, the more money you will make. The more money comes from getting more clients to sign up with you to pay you. Okay? Is everybody on the same page? Can I get a 5 in the chat real quick? 5 in the chat, let's go. Everybody, 5 in the chat. Boom, break it down. 5 in the chat, let's go. Lead generation. Let's go here really quick. Lead generation. Lead generation. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that. That's pretty cool. How come I never use this shit, right? Can we go PMP real quick? Look at that. Look at that, okay? So the first one we need to do, let's get this bad boy over here. Awesome. I love it. I love this TV thing. Cool. So that's the first thing that we need to do, okay? Lead generation. Number 1. Guess what, guys? Can we get that little cool thing at the bottom? See that right there? Right across there. This is the lead generation tool that I used for the last 3 years to generate leads for my agency. Okay? Now think about this really quick. You go out and you do lead generation, okay? Now one of the lead generation tactics is cold calls, okay? So you go out and you do cold calls. What is the best thing to pair with it? A freaking free website, man. A freaking free website. Like think about how that changes your numbers in a number game. hey, I'm calling, my name is Chad. I just built a free website for you. Just gonna send you over the link real quick. You wanna check it out? Shoots up your conversion rate high. Next thing is walk-ins. Imagine walking into places. Imagine walking into a freaking real estate office with like 40 realtors. Okay? Being like, go to the person who owns a brokerage, be like, hey, I want to give everybody in this bitch free websites. You're gonna be like Oprah. You get a website, you get a website, you get a website, everybody gets websites. Can you imagine that? And you just build all the realtors a free website. Everybody. Instagram automation. We went over a whole thing last time, a whole session last time, on how to target realtors and roofers and plumbers. Now, what if you set up your Instagram automation and you started that conversation, and from that conversation, when they said, yes, they're a roofer, you piggyback that with, that's awesome, I want to go ahead and build you a free website. What's a good email and or maybe your phone number? I can just text you a link. Let me show you what it looks like. InstaSites. Just go out and build. InstaSites is not the answer to all of the questions. InstaSites is not going to do all of the sales for you. InstaSites is the tool that you use to add literally gasoline to the fire. Okay? It accelerates everything that you do. Everything that you do. InstaSites will add flame to, will add gas to the fire? Yeah, something like that. We good, Carlos? GoPro, hit the GoPro. Are we good, Carlos? Carlos walked in here. What's going on? Carlos in the building. 79 for Carlos. 79 for Carlos in the building. Somebody said, what's the Facebook group name? Marketers Mindset by DashClicks. Marketers Mindset by DashClicks. Okay. Now we're going to go over number 2. Number 2. Get a new note in this. Bad boy, bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?